Hey, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Shad, and today I'm going to give you a full review of the Jordan 1 Chicago Lost and Found. If you're a fan of the content and the channel, please subscribe. If this is your first time here, thanks for stopping by. If you like this video, please hit that like button as well on your way out. So, here we are, the probably top 3 most anticipated sneakers for me in 2022. And if you guys haven't seen my previous video, I actually hit on the SNKRS Exclusive Access earlier last week and got it in within 2 days. So I was really excited to turn the camera on and share this with you guys. And also just my overall thoughts of the shoe as a whole. So the first thing that I'm going to call out is you have the mismatched box with the orange top and then the black bottom. The original Jordan 1 bottom, and then I believe I heard this was like the AJKO box that they use on the lid for this shoe. And then what you have on the paper is what looks like newspaper advertising for the particular store. And you've got like the deals, shows MJ, shows the shoes here. I like the tissue paper. It's really cool, really creative. I love the ads on here, you know, those prices. I mean, I've heard about prices being that low back in the day. I know that when the Jordan 1 released originally, it was hard. It was a hard sell. Like, you couldn't get these off of the shelves. And so, you know, you did see prices that low on the Jordan 1, which is insane to think about today. And also, of course, with inflation, that's like an absurd number, like $29.99 for a pair of Jordan 1s. You're not gonna see that today unless you're at a Ross or some kind of thrift store and nobody knows what they are, but that is highly unlikely. So yeah, then you've got the cool little stickers here on the box, which show that, you know, it's a sale. I actually called this out on my unboxing video that these are real stickers on here, so I like the touch there. It's really cool, really creative. And you've got this aged looking box. It kind of gives you a look that, you know, the shoes have been sitting in a back room, in the back of a stock room for a long time, you know, and, you know, the person is rummaging through to find the shoe. Now, when I first unboxed the shoe, I didn't find the receipt, and I didn't realize it until after I finished recording my unboxing video. But I had to actually dig through all the paper to find the receipt, and here it is, from Sandy Bros Sport Depot, established in 1985, out in Covington, Kentucky. You've got the invoice for the shoe. Air Jordan basketball shoes, paid cash, final sale. The story is, this is purely fictional, the store, the transaction, but it is based off of, you know, a story of events that have happened in the past. So, you know, really cool concept. And I think this is where I get into why I like this shoe so much, or why I was really into, because it's the storytelling, right? You put that level of detail in the packaging, from the receipt to the box to the different colored lid and the actual box itself. You know, it's a great touch. And then you've got the tissue paper, which I really like as well. Like, really cool touches. I think, you know, a lot of good thought went into really selling this shoe instead of it just being a regular Chicago 1, outside of like the aesthetic changes that take place here. But, you know, overall, I think that, you know, Nike really did a good job in capturing the attention of, you know, some of the older, you know, consumers who like the storytelling, who like to be, you know, smoothed by, you know, a good backstory. So thank you, Nike, for that one. That was a good touch. And so now let's get into the shoe itself. So upon taking the shoe out of the box, the first thing that I noticed is the red leather. And a couple of things that I like about the leather is that it's thicker. And I mentioned in the unboxing that it felt stiffer, but I mean, it's the thickness, of course, yes, that gives it a harder feel to it. It actually reminds me a little bit of the high 85 Jordan 1s, but it's just not as stiff, definitely not as stiff as well. And then you've got this cracked leather across some of the underlays here. I like the cracked leather on this much better than I like the cracked leather on the Alma Maniere 1s. I actually got the Alma Maniere 1s and I couldn't even stand to put them on feet. I got rid of those right away. I didn't like them at all. I know people were talking about, you know, sneaker of the year candidate and all this. I was not a fan of it. I love Alma Manier and all of some of their creations that they've done with Nike and Jordan brand, but that one was a miss for me. I think that was one of the main ones that I didn't like, and that goes the same for the Jordan 2. I just didn't like that cracked leather. This one's a little bit more softer. It feels a little bit more authentic as far as like the aging of the shoe itself, if that's what they were going for on the Alma Manier 1s and 2s, as opposed to this. Like, I feel like this is a great rendition. It's softer on the collar here. You know, it really looks old and aged. Same thing here on the white underlays. It feels softer, not actually as flaky as I initially thought they would be, which is a good deal. I appreciate that. Then you have this aged tongue, gives it an off-white appearance as opposed to the rest of the shoe, which is fine. I like that actual look. It looks really cool. I'm really glad that they didn't do a completely aged midsole. It still has a semi-white look to it rather than that off-white look. I'm over off-white midsoles, but that's just me, of course. The embossed Wings logo here was a nice touch. I like the way that looks and feels. And then you have the outsole itself, which has this aged look, like it's starting to fade a little bit. Again, a really good execution on the vintage look of the shoe. When it comes to that whole concept, I think this is probably the best out of anything that I've seen personally. I think that there's a lot of shoes that, you know, all they do is they slap some aged midsole, some other details that aren't really hidden. This one is just really feels like it makes me feel like this has been sitting in a box. Other than like the midsole and the smell of the shoe, like I would really think that if I saw this for the first time, I would have thought this is an old sneaker that somebody has on their feet. And so again, kudos to you, Nike, for this one. Now, these did come with two different color laces. I have the white one on the left shoe, and I put the black one on the right shoe. Post a comment below. Let me know which lace you would rather go with, the white or the black. I'm starting to lean towards the black a little bit. I like that look. Looks a little bit better. I mean, although the white's really clean too. I might switch it up. I might pull a Jay the Sneaker Guy and start switching up my laces regularly. Shout out to Jay the Sneaker Guy, man, doing this thing. I appreciate his videos. You know, he's got some fire content. Y'all gotta make sure to go check him out. For me, other than that, this is just a regular Jordan 1. This is outside of the stealth Jordan 1s, the yellow toes. These were pretty much the only Jordan 1 that I could say that I wanted this year. You know, I think the whole Jordan 1 train is starting to tail off. You know, they'll still sell because it's just a classic silhouette. But when you're talking about fashion and people getting excited, unless you're doing like exclusive colorways or, you know, one-off collaborations that you're, how much more excited can you get about a Jordan 1? Now, I've never owned the Chicago one, so this one was a must for me. Like, so much so that I bought the replicas, the Vibe Remake Labs, just to fill that void of not having the Chicago one. But yeah, so November 8th, cop these exclusive access. Really extremely excited. The 19th is the official sneakers release on this shoe. Not sure if it's a draw or if it's going to be first come first serve. I'm not sure about stock numbers. I don't know, you know, all those things. I try not to pay too much attention to them because it's, at the end of the day, does it really matter? Either you get them or you don't, you know what I mean? Whatever those numbers were, you know, you have very little control over. And just like, you know, on this EA release, I'm hearing 25K. You know, I heard somebody talking about maybe 50, 60, I don't know, but 25K seems to be floating around a lot. If that's the case, then, you know, for those who were fortunate enough to get them during that time, you know, salute to you. I don't know what impact that will have on the release coming up on the 19th, but I do hope that everybody who really wanted this sneaker for their personal collection is able to get their hands on them, because it's a really good looking shoe. You know, it's a great sneaker for storytelling purposes, for nostalgia, Again, the Chicago 1 is just a classic colorway, and it's a new spin that I can appreciate. So if you have the Chicago 1s, you don't have to feel completely bad about like getting this pair. You can get this pair, rock this, because it's subtle differences. Or you can break out your Chicago 1s knowing that you have these on ice, whatever the case may be. But overall, this is a good shoe. I went true to size 12. Like all Jordan 1s, they fit true to size. So if you are in the market for a pair of these, stick to your true to size. You can't go wrong. Also, as far as the quality of the manufacturing of this sneaker, I didn't have many problems with this at all. I know wear testers had posted their video and they were talking about the cut being really bad. I didn't have any problems like that at all. Overall, I think the shoe looks really good. Other than on the leather itself, you have these like scratch marks and things like that. But I don't know if that was supposed to be part of the design, or if that's just how they came out of the factory. Either way, it's not a big deal to me. I don't mind it. Again, I'm just happy to have the shoe. I'm happy I don't have to stress about getting this sneaker because I was not going to pay resale. And I don't like buying from the secondary market, especially something like this, because the idea that you're getting a UA pair or a replica is extremely high. So if you don't have to take that chance, then you're better off that way. But again, post a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about the Chicago 1 Lost and Founds. Are these your sneaker of the year? Where do these rank? For me, I'm not gonna say these are my sneaker of the year. I would say that the Jackie Robinson Dunks are above that when it comes to, for me, the storyline. I think that shoe was just, it means a lot to me. I'd say that. Also, I kind of forget about the Joe Freshgoods, the 90-60s that dropped earlier in the year. I actually don't have those anymore. I did end up selling those. Not because I wanted to get rid of them, because it made more sense to me because I didn't get my size. I bought 11.5 instead of a 12, and those fit true to size. They weren't like other New Balances that you buy made in the USA where you would go half a size down. So I ended up getting rid of those, but those are also on my list for top sneaker of the year. But these are a close, I'd say second or third. These are definitely up there as far as like really wanting these shoes. Like I really wanted these shoes, so I'm happy to have them. And then hopefully I can get my Alma Maniere 4s, and that'll be it for me in 2022. If I can get my hands on those, that'll be great. But let me know, what are your top 3 sneakers of 2022? I know a lot of big sneaker YouTubers do their year-end, top 10 videos. I don't usually do that. I've done it 1 year and that was it. And so, it is what it is. The sneakers that I really wanted, sometimes, most of the time, I don't have, I wasn't able to get. I was able to hit on a few limited releases this year, which I was really excited about. But overall, like I said, this is a really good shoe. Sorry about the rant. But as always, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you tuning in. Stay tuned. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on a drop. And I will catch you on the next one. Y'all be easy. Peace.